What's up, y'all? It's State of Disrepair. Welcome back. I have completely lost the plot. So, I was trying to work on this idea that I came up with last week, and I was banging my head against this thing for days. Days. Nothing was sounding right. I hated it. I was honestly about this close to deleting it outright. And then I realized something. Earlier this morning, I was revisiting some of the music that I used to love when I was in high school, and that led me back to Moon Hooch. And something that I realized about why exactly I loved it was that I could just lose myself in it. When I was listening to it, when I was playing it, I could just completely forget the world around me, forget myself, and it was just the music. That was all there was. And that's why I love bands like Korn, because when I'm listening to something like Blind, I can just completely lose myself in it. It's a similar effect. And that is what I need to capture with this project here. So, turning our attention back to it, right? We've got a couple of distinct sections. We have this section in fives. And believe it or not, I can completely lose myself in that. I love that. I'm all for it. It's awesome. Then we got this fourth section right here. This part is hit or miss, right? We got the very beginning. I hate it. I fucking hate it. We're getting rid of it. It's done. This I'm not sure about. What about this right here, though? That I actually like. I could see myself losing myself in that, right? Okay, so not bad, right? I just need to come up with some drums to go over top of this, and I should be good to go on this section right here. I want to expand the fours, and how I'm going to do that? I got this blank MIDI part right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quarter note pulse on the China. 1, 2, 3, 4, copy paste it over. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this to loop, and I am just going to jam over top of it. And I am just going to completely lose myself in this pulse and see what I come up with. I'm gonna get out of my head and into my hands is the idea here. So let's get started. Let's set this pulse running and let's start jamming on it. Slightly different idea. I came up with this idea. The ending, I don't know about the ending. I'll work that out. But I did come up with that riff. It's at a slightly different tempo. I might be changing around the tempo for this. How exactly am I going to do that? Let's see. We'll call it about 100 maybe. I'll work the fives into that somehow. I'm going to get that riff down real quick. I should probably come up with an ending for it, though. All right, I got it. Let's get it down. Couple things. One, I need to do that again. Two, this wants to be faster. All right, I'm going to record another side to that, lay some bass and some drums on top of it. And I'm not really sure where I'm going to go from there. We'll see how I'm feeling. All right, that went pretty smoothly. Let's hear both of those. There we go. Just a little tweaky tweak on this little part here. There we go. That's so much better. Let's get bass down. Woo! Ooh, that's nice. That grooves hard. Let's see if I can make it groove equally as hard on the drums. I am going to do that quarter note pulse on the China, though I did really like that. I'm going to need to adjust some timing. We're just going to rein it in a little bit. Little variations in time are fine because that keeps it human, but I do want it to generally be at least a little bit organized. Yeah, it's going to be a simple groove. Boom, some cuts, boom, oh, I'm going to try something new with this one. I'm going to get the kick and snare down real quick. What I need to have happen here, I want to fill this space with something. I'm hearing some toms kind of, actually. Well, I got some ideas down. Let me just go ahead and quantize these real quick. These do want to be a little bit earlier because they're flams. This isn't possible. That's not possible. Let's see. This isn't possible. That's not possible. All right. That's not bad. That's not a bad groove. I mean, I'm kind of with it. What I'm not with is the way that the China keeps coming in and out. Although maybe that's just kind of part of it. You know what? Let's get the initial idea of how it sounds in context. Maybe it does want to be on the open hat. Let's try that. I prefer it on the China. I'm not sure I'm 1,000% in love with the way the Chinas keep coming in and out. I might need to listen to some drum grooves in existing songs to get a sense of how that works exactly. I'm going to need to do some major time adjustment here. All right, so what I need to do here is I need to kind of stretch this out because the difference between these two sections is that the quarter notes are divided differently. In this section, they're divided in 4s. In this section, they're divided in 5s, but the quarter notes are the same length. I need to do some weird quintuplet f***ery with this section here to make it this fit into the quarter note as opposed to taking up 5/16 notes. Oh Lord, how am I gonna do that here? This is exactly one chunk here. So I'm gonna extend this by a 16th note, right? So I need to make all of this fit into 2 bars. Perfect. And I might need to slow down the tempo just a little bit. Now we need to time stretch all this. That sounds right. Does it line up with the drums? It sure does. Okay, this is a lot easier than I thought I'd be, I'll be perfectly honest. Now guitars. Oh boy. So real quick, I'm gonna play both sections that I came up with and reworked just so that we can get an idea of where I can take this thing from here. So that's what I've got so far. I think I can hear some things, especially in here where the timing's kind of messed up, and I might slow this section. I might slow this 5 section down just a little bit because it does sound very fast. But my main goal for today was to kind of just get out of my head and into my hands, and I ended up coming up with something that I really ended up liking, which I think just goes to show what happens when A, you revisit music that you used to love and rediscover what exactly you loved about it, and B, just let go. You know, the moral of today's project is just let go. You know what I mean? And I apologize if the audio was a little bit choppy and is kind of cutting in and out. There might be some weird cuts in the edit later. My computer is having issues that are affecting audio playback and stuff like that. But hopefully it at least is usable. And with that, I'm going to leave it there. So I appreciate y'all sticking around till the end of this one. This one was a fun one. And if you like what you saw here, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And y'all take care of yourselves. I'll see you around.